Hi folks, Luke Evans here from the agency Real Estate. Excited to be back for another coaching tip series. Claudio Encina is with me here today. Welcome, mate.
Thanks for having me again, Luke.
Mate, we're here again.
We are.
Well, look, with the value of time.
Yes.
Clouds, we're going to talk about prospecting strategy today.
Yeah.
If you ask Google or AI what's prospecting strategies rather there is in an agent's business,
Yes.
there's 1,000.
Of course.
You have a lot of clients. Sometimes the too much choice can confuse people in execution. Yeah. What are you suggesting about how to build out a prospecting strategy?
Yeah, I'd probably say there are three ways, to look at lead generation or prospecting, as we call it, right? Which is a critical driver in an agent's business, right? So the first one is I'd probably say your justice is just sold, right? What does your circle sales look like? Yeah, you got to have a signature plan, whatever that may look like. Some people, when they list a property, they do a progress report to the neighbours. Some people do 10 by 10 by 20 door knocks, invite neighbours to a VIP open home. Yep. They ring in their pipeline sellers to invite them to the open home. But there's a strategy in the just listed area that goes all the way through for about 4 weeks. And then what do you do on the just sold side? Apart from just sending DL cards, just as it just sold and a sold sticker going on the signboard, what are some of the key things that you could be doing? So think about your circle sales plan around, just this is just sold. The other area of prospecting I really find is, what we call outside sales. And I call that your farm area. Yeah, focus on a niche. If I look at the most successful agents, would you agree they've always focused on a particular niche?
Yeah, and double down on that area.
Double down, they just became laser focused on that area where they be seen as the expert, right? They didn't do a spray and pray, try to catch everyone and catch no one, right? Just catch a certain amount of people, but just being visible in that area. And in terms of that outside sales, you could do expired listings, which you could do withdrawals, right? If you target other agent sales or listings if you wanted to, right? You could do other agents' anniversaries if you don't go and Claudio, I don't have that many anniversaries in my own database, right? So you do the outside sales. And then the final one is the inside sales, right? So the inside sales is what we call databases, and right? Your database, your social currency, people that know who you are, what you do, and what your offer is. And you want to be targeting those people past market appraisals, past clients, your referrals, So what are you doing there? Now, what I would tear down those three areas, circle, inside and outside, is work out what does my systems look like. Yeah. If I look at the best high-performing agents in this market, I've got to say, Luke, they just have systems in place.
Yeah.
Right? And what does James Clear say from Atomic Habits? He just says, you'll never rise to the level of your goals. You'll just fall down to the level of your systems. If you have systems in place, guess what? Things start to happen. Results happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would say pick 3 and do them really, really well in one area. You have 90 days and then start adding to the tool belt. Perfect the scripts. Obviously, the phone's number one.
Yes.
Social media is an and strategy, not an or strategy.
Yes.
And the scripts and dialogues around the confidence about what's happening in an area. That's probably my synopsis of it.
Yes.
Sometimes the choice, clarity, simplicity can scale quicker, right?
Okay.
And I know when you're sort of newer into sales, you might think, I need to do this because that person's doing that. Well, that person might have started doing that 10 years ago and they're very good at it.
Yeah.
Add just 2 or 3 things in the one area for 90 days and then start to think, okay, what other systems and processes can I add to my business?
Just to my prospecting.
Yeah.
And just keep it simple, as you sort of said. I remember my first mentor, Luke, he said to me, just do 4 things 4,000 times. Don't try to do 4,000 things 4 times.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
That's That's unreal. Absolute gold here, Clouds. Thanks for joining me this morning. Thanks, team. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.